Hello everyone, it's your favorite creature thing, and today I wanted to talk about a very controversial topic within the furry fandom, which is, should minors be within the furry fandom? Now, the controversial nature of this subject mostly stems from the fact that there is undeniably a lot of adult content that circulates through the furry fandom. Horny memes, jokes, content. I mean, we were kind of given the freaky stereotypes from the general public for a relatively valid reason. Despite the fact that we're not all little ravaging beasts trying to get a little freaky with it while dressed as a zebra, it can kind of be exhausting to be accused as such. There is definitely a large part of our community catered to those who partake in those acts within the fandom, which I would like to state is completely okay. Consenting adults are consenting adults. You do what you want as long as it's safe. Minors, mostly, shaming fully consenting adults for being explicit when they are fully within their right to engage in these behaviors with other adults, solely because the algorithm of certain apps places it on their feeds. I have seen it so many times where a minor has been in an adult's comment section saying, "This is why our fandom looks bad. I don't claim that. You are not a furry. Furries don't do that. Banned from this damn fandom." And I genuinely think that it comes from one or more of these few things. Number 1, Puritan beliefs. Number 2, immaturity. Or number 3, which I already held up, I don't know why I'm doing that, I don't think that I've gotten used to this yet. Misunderstanding. You see, I understand why a child and even an adult would find sexuality being expressed through the fandom as something highly uncomfortable. To a lot of people, the furry fandom is seen as peace, joy, and a creative outlet opposed to something that can be viewed as pleasureful in that manner. That, or some people are asexual with repulsion to such topics and content. Both of those are 100% your right as a person because one is a belief and the other quite literally cannot be changed. It's not your fault for being put off or uncomfortable, but for as much as you might find said content to be uncomfortable, it does exist and there will be cases in which you will see it unsolicited on the internet. But instead of berating them, I highly encourage blocking said creators if you find their works uncomfortable. They do not owe it to you to stop, however, they do owe you a warning so that you do not see it without your approval. You could argue that TikTok is a kids app, that it was made for those 13 and older, and that it was never meant to harbor adult creators, but honestly, despite that, social media will be used by anyone, and that is the truth. As TikTok has grown, so has its policies. You must be 18 and provide an ID to livestream. There are 18 plus video warnings that you can place on your content. Honestly, it's rare that I don't see an adult video have a warning within the fandom, especially on TikTok. I don't see the TikTok 18 plus filter often used, but I'll see a huge red bold NSFW minors do not interact within a few moments, a direct disclaimer. But most times, even with the warnings, minors will still make it a point to comment to shame the adult creator, which in turn means that they have violated an adult space, one that was not made for them despite a bold warning. Now mind you, this can also go for adults invading a minor's account as well. You might be asking what I mean, because frankly not enough people really speak about this, but I'm talking about the people who tell minors not to interact with them, yet follow them and like their videos and comment on their videos. This is unfair because I experienced this myself when I was underage, and I always was so confused. Does do not interact not go both ways? Why am I expected to keep up with your do not interact when you don't keep up with your own? You should not put up a double standard for children if you are an MD&I account, because it just makes you look like a hypocrite. As someone who has an alternate account where I am not child-friendly, I make it a point to check the bio of someone before I like their post when I'm scrolling through my feed there, as to not make either of us uncomfortable. Even though my main is child-friendly, it's my NSFW account, which I'd rather not interact with a minor on there. Now, with that in mind, here comes a discussion about the role of minors within the furry fandom and why adult space invasions are a painfully frequent occurrence here. There is a painful lack of space for minors within the furry fandom as someone who joined the furry fandom at 11 years old, and knows that quite well. Speaking from my own experiences, when I was just 15 years old, I craved being 18 to be able to interact with more people, because there were so many minors do not interact accounts that I'd see who seemed so cool, but just didn't want me there, which is their absolute right, that is their boundary, that is their desire, nothing wrong with that. I'm saying that to share that I genuinely know what it's like to be a minor within the furry fandom. I'm only 18, turning 19, so most of my time here has been as a child. It saddens me to see that there are so many young furries who truly just enjoy the art aspect of the furry fandom, being unable to find a safe space, or an adult role model to follow who actually wants them there. As a little kid, I had Animal Jam, random friends within the animation meme community, but nowadays, even if those still exist, there are significantly less active spaces that minors can rely on to engage with their furry friends within their age range. Which now brings me to my next point, the big wonder. Would it really even be safe if minors had their own designated spaces? A space where it would be exclusively minors and where they could chat, stay safe, and filters were implemented. Alright, I'm pausing mid-video because I didn't want people to just come to this video and look at the end to see the reveal, but I do in fact have a fursuit head that I've kind of been hiding for a little bit because I wasn't sure how I felt, but I am quite happy with the result, and I don't have any paws and I don't have a tail yet, so I was kind of holding back solely because of that, and also because I wanted to make some adjustments. But I have indeed created a fursuit head of my Trusona. So here's the reveal. Okay, this is it. You might not hear me super well because my microphone is not attached to the stinker, but this is my Trusona. Let me see if I can get like a 360 type thing going on here. Okay, I see. It's based off of how I look in real life. I'm very afraid to see what this little creature looks like on camera. I mean, I can see, it's just like, I'm gonna get a clearer view whenever I take this little creature off. But this is indeed my Trusona, and I think that I might try and close the mouth a little bit, because I think that there's like, nobody's that happy all the time. Stinker, and also the hair can be moved and like positioned in specific ways. So this is not the only position that you're gonna see my little creature in, as far as hair. The hair can be styled. I wanted to make the hair a little bit longer in the back, but it's basically accurate to how my length is right now, which I think I might show a picture. I'll show a picture, okay? I'll show a picture of me for people on my YouTube channel who are exclusively on my YouTube channel who haven't seen me yet. This is my hair in the fursuit. Blah, 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 blah. I will go back to the video because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Can you tell that I'm running out of things to say? Which now brings me to my next point, the big wonder. Would it really even be safe if minors had their own designated spaces? A space where it would be exclusively minors, where they could chat, stay safe, and filters were implemented? Now you might be thinking, Lonnie, what do you mean, would it be safe? Of course it would. It would only be kids, so what's the harm? Well, as much as it genuinely sickens me and saddens me to say this, there is absolutely no way to guarantee that predators wouldn't make efforts to invade spaces intended for children. Use teen dating apps as an example. Have those ever gone right? Predatory adults will often parade as kids, as teens, catfish, or just straight up act like a shark dropped into a sea full of minnows. There is quite literally no way to keep children safe within a teen-based app because most children do not have an ID to verify their age, and even if they did, there would surely be loopholes, right? Nasty people will find their ways. It's just so saddening that younger furries cannot have their spaces, feel forced to grow up to fit in, and just feel isolated from the fandom that they adore so wholeheartedly, though I believe that this community of fluffy animal characters shouldn't be taken away from minors as if children's media is not so ingrained within our culture. Disney, cartoons as a whole, anthropomorphic characters, they are so common within children's media that it would be so odd and unfair to just shun them from a community that's roots are from cartoons. It's kind of like the adults getting angry at unknowing children interacting with their My Little Pony content or Bluey content, which I have also personally seen. So yes, as a former minor furry, shocker, I used to be a minor and I do in fact age. I am not just a limitless being created by the atmosphere of silliness. Now, adult furry, I do agree that minors have a place within this fandom and do not deserve to be shunned. What I stated are all reasonings as to why I haven't made my account a minor exclusive space, because number one, whoa, that's a weird thing for an adult person to do, and more than likely implies something weird. And two, because I believe in harboring a space where everybody can interact with my content and enjoy it equally. I make my content more child-friendly, but enjoyable by everyone in most regards, such as making it a point to avoid swearing in songs, making it a point not to talk about very suggestive topics in detail. I just want there to be more people that are welcoming of everyone, because I feel so sad that younger Gen Z and Gen Alpha are being deprived of positive role models that aren't 18 plus or targeting kids in a weird way. I mean, these are the future generations of our fandom, our fursuit makers, the people who will keep this fandom going when we're gone. And I believe in respect for every space and every non-harmful person within our community. I believe in respecting furry workers, their spaces, and what they do, because it's some people's lifeline and some people's way of defying culture where it's shame to express yourself in such a way. And I believe in respecting minors who just want to be in their own happy bubble with the joy, the whimsy, and anything else lovely that comes with the fandom, and their spaces. Both deserve equal respect, and we can live amongst each other if we look forward to respecting each other's spaces. There are spaces that are out there for both of those groups, and they just might not be in plain sight, but they exist. I might not know of any myself, but I have found my way into communities that are really, really lovely, and I fit in just fine. I want to end this video off by saying that I am a very open book, and I welcome any opinions that you might have about this topic, my video, and everything as a whole. I make these videos to start a discussion, a respectful discussion, to hear what you all have to say, and to help people know that they're seen. As usual, stay cringe, stay free, and remember, no matter how alone you may feel, you will always have a forever home with me. Goodbye, friends! I love talking to people and having discussions, hence why I feel like I should have a pin that just says, talk to me. I'm basically a humanized dog. I'm just like that, you know? Just like that. It's not a reference to being a furry. This isn't a humanized dog, okay? Get it right. It's a humanized fox, tiger, dragon. Boom shakalaka, don't come at me anymore. Anyways, goodbye.